Yeah. My name is Brian Taylor, and I lived in Oceanside, California most of my life. My education was in the Oceanside Public Schools, and my 32-year career has been teaching 3 different schools. 2 of them I attended as a child, and ever since I was a child, I loved writing stories, songs, poems, and what inspired me to write was a teacher who knew me when I was 9 years old. She took an interest in my writing. She saw me writing stories one time at a family event, asked me questions about why I like to write, and made comments about what she enjoyed about my writing. And my mom was an avid writer. She encouraged me, and now that love has fostered me my whole life, and now I'm inspiring that love with my students. When I was teaching at one school called Garrison Elementary, the teacher that was right next to me was the one who inspired me to write when I was a kid. And 16 years later, I'd end up teaching right next door to her. Her name is Eileen Koniarski. She's passed away, but her inspiration has followed me. She was doing poetry recitals with her class, and when I started teaching with her, she wanted a partner to do poetry recitals with. She encouraged me to do poetry recitals at the end of the year, and I did those with her for about 7 or 8 years, and got a great response from the parents and the kids. And just seeing the joy that the kids were reciting poems inspired me to write my own poems, and that was back in 1994 and 1995. So I started writing personal poems when I was about 25, and just experiences I went through, that was the motivation for me to start writing poems. I was encouraged by my mom and my teaching colleague to keep writing. And with that encouragement, I just kept going as a writer, starting at the age of 9, starting with songs, silly plays, and then short stories, and then it developed into poems as I got older. And so I've never stopped writing. So I've always gotten encouragement from a lot of people, and that's what inspired me to keep writing. And people responded that they liked what I wrote. What inspired me to write poems for the military veteran, the American worker, and the American spirit was teaching on a military campus. I currently work at a base school, been there for 5 years, Stewart Mesa Elementary in Camp Pendleton, California, connected to Oceanside, and seeing what they have to do to fight for our freedom and the sacrifice they make on a regular basis inspires me every day. I have many friends that are in the military at my church. My best friends have been in the military, and I wanted to do something to show them my appreciation, and so it's almost like a tribute to them. But I also wanted to include jobs that I see that are passionate to me and that have made a difference in people's lives, and I wanted to contribute to all those worker positions. Yes, being on a military base campus with elementary kids did inspire me to write the military book that I had written. I see the resiliency that the kids need. I see how they deal with deployments. I've been there through the tears. I've been there where they just need to share what they're going through. And my heart goes out to them, and it makes me appreciate the kids more, makes me want to love them more because there's a dad or mom that's absent. And so, by being on a military campus, I was inspired to write a book about the military. I wrote Peanut Butter's Problem this year, 2025, and got the idea about several months ago. And what gave me the idea was I wanted to write a children's book on something that kids relate to. And the idea of peanut butter came to mind. Kids have had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches from the time they were little. Their moms and dads made them. They had them in the school cafeteria. And I thought, peanut butter, that would be a great idea. And so what the book is about is it's about a jar of peanut butter who is a friendly character. He is a happy character, but he starts to become disillusioned because he feels like he's being neglected, and he feels like he needs to be matched with something else, but he doesn't know what it is. So he has a lot of other food characters that are friends of his, and they try to give him ideas on what that could be. And so peanut butter ends up finding who his match is. And there's some other discoveries that come in the book later on that kids will enjoy, but that's a surprise that comes at the end. When I'm writing for poems for children, I want them to be humorous. I want them to memorize them. I want them to be silly. I want them to be playful. I want them to be something that they can enjoy sharing with their parents. When I'm writing for adults, I'm usually conveying specific ideas I want them to grasp. Maybe there are certain situations they're going through that they can relate to the poems I've written. They're more serious in nature, so that would be the main difference. Yes, Poems to Help Your Christian Walk is my favorite. In the year 2020 to 2021, I developed COVID and got a pretty bad case of it. I developed 2 pulmonary embolisms. I developed a blood clot. I had pneumonia, and my eyesight was affected, and I was very depressed. And in the past, I would write poems when I'm depressed. And I'm a strong Christian. I love the Lord Jesus Christ. And my faith helped me, and I was inspired to write these poems during that very difficult time. And all those poems in that book that I just mentioned, Poems to Help Your Christian Walk, were written that year. And it was a healing therapeutic process. And thank God I was able to get through COVID. But yeah, Poems to Help Your Christian Walk has the biggest impact on my life and my favorite. I am in the process of writing 2 new books. Both of them are children's books. And what's kind of fun about these 2 books is that they will include characters from Peanut Butter's Problem. And they're in the works right now. I'm in the middle of writing them, but those are the 2 I'm involved in at the current moment. You can find my books on my website, briantaylor.books.com, and Amazon. If you're interested in being a writer, my advice would be start writing. Write whatever ideas come to your mind. Write them on paper. Type them on the computer. Whatever mode that you want to write, the most important thing is to just keep writing. Be an avid reader to develop your vocabulary, and find inspirational areas where you want to write. I've written 4 other books. My first 2 books were about experiences in the classroom, and those are called Poetry for Teachers, Volume 1 and 2. I took all the experiences I had as a teacher and wrote them in 2 volumes. My next book after that was Poems for the Sports Fan and Musicians. And my last book that was just published was Poems about Animal Adventures. And some of those poems I included in my poetry recital last year working at a base school.